Good morning and welcome back in the Hotel Management lecture videos. This is Dushyant Singh, Assistant Professor BBDU, and you are watching 10th lecture of Food Production Semester 3rd. Subject code is BHM 2301. The topic is cream.
Cream. Cream is the fat separated from milk. It is the lighter portion of milk containing all the main constituent of milk, but in which fat content is high and the solid content is lower. Cream is commercially separated from milk in a creamery by means of a mechanical separator. The milk is first heated to between 32 to 49 degrees centigrade before being run into the separator, which operates like a centrifugal machine rotating at a very high speed and forcing the milk, which is heavier, to the outside, while the cream, which is lighter, remains at the center. The cream and the skimmed milk are drained out through the separate outlet and by means of a control valve. The fat content is adjusted. The skimmed milk is then heated to 79.5 degrees centigrade to kill off any harmful bacteria before being further processed into dried milk, etc. Types of cream. There are a variety of creams available in the market, each having a different fat content. Types of cream according to fat content. These are single cream, which have 18% fat content, whipping cream, that is 35% fat content, double cream having a 48% of fat content, double thick cream having 50% of fat content, sterilized half cream having 12% of fat content, sterilized cream having 23% of fat content, and clotted cream having 55% of fat content. For general purpose, cream may be classified into four categories. First is whipping cream, which have more than 30% of fat, light or coffee cream, which have 18% of fat, and half cream, which have 10.5% fat, and non-dairy or manufactured cream, which is also known as artificial cream. Half and half is a mixture of milk and light cream, and it may be used in place of coffee cream. Cream containing sugar, stabilizers, and flavoring is sold in pasteurized container. Non-dairy products containing water, vegetable fat, sugar, sodium caseinate, emulsifier, and vegetable gums are also available in pressurized can. Non-dairy products for whipped topping, coffee, whiteners, and snack dip bases are also available in the market. Manufactured cream. These are two types: reconstituted cream and imitation or synthetic cream. Reconstituted cream is made by emulsifying butter with skim milk or skim milk powder. This is not true cream but a substance which resembles in its appearance. Imitation or synthetic cream. It is made by the emulsification of vegetable fat with dried egg and gelatin, and then sugar and flavoring are added. It is a product which is frequently used in catering and baking trade, but which is very easily contaminated and liable to cause food poisoning. Usage of cream. To serve with hot or cold coffee and chocolate. To serve as an accompaniment for fruit-based salad. To be used for decorative purpose in cakes and gâteaux, and for garnishes in soup and dessert. As a main ingredient in certain desserts such as ice cream and custard. Storage of cream. Fresh cream must be treated in the same way as fresh milk as far as storage is concerned. Whipped cream must be covered and stored in a sterilized container in the refrigerator and used in the same day. Reconstituted and intimation cream must be refrigerated and only small quantity be whipped when required for immediate use. The whipping of cream. The whipping cream is a product that results from agitation of cream. During whipping, air is incorporated, thus forming foam, and fat particles are clumped together, producing the characteristic stiffness or rigidity of whipped cream. If whipping is continued too long, the emulsion breaks and butter gets separated. The air bubbles formed in whipped cream are surrounded by protein films in which clumps of fat globules offer structural support, which increases the rigidity of the foam and permits the formation of more air bubbles and the extension of protein film to surround them. Homogenized cream is not suitable for cream or whipping. Points to be considered while whipping cream. Use cream with minimum 30% of fat for easy and whipping, and for stiff products increase fat up to 38%, improve the whipping quality of cream. Hold cream at low temperature 7 degree centigrade, whips well. Lower temperature increases viscosity, which increases the whipping property. The beater and the ball used should be cold. Whipping property improves with the aging of cream as viscosity increases. Homogenized cream will not whip satisfactorily. When whipping cream, tiny air bubbles are trapped and surrounded by the fat globules in cream. Homogenized cream will have had the majority of the fat globules broken down, and they will not be sufficient and strong enough to trap and hold the air cells. The utensils must be sterilized. Glass or stainless steel containers are ideal for whipping cream. Avoid using aluminum as it tends to discolor the cream, turning it a dull gray. Increase acidity up to concentration required to give a sour taste 0.03%. 0.3% has no effect on the whipping quality. Addition of sugar decreases both volume and stiffness and increases time required to whip cream if it is added before whipping. If sugar is to be added, it is the best added after the cream is stiff or just before the service. Milk is one of the most basic of all food. Milk constitutes a complete diet, and even for adults, cow's milk includes many essential nutrients, particularly calcium. Milk represents a major ingredient in our diet, poured over cereals, drunk in glasses, in tea and coffee, but it also enters the composition of many dishes, especially dessert, such as ice cream, custard, pancake, rice pudding, etc. It is particularly high in calcium, but it is also fairly in fat. Milk is a nutrient-rich, white liquid food produced by the mammary glands of mammals. It is the primary source of nutrition for infants, mammals, before they are able to digest other type of food. Early lactation milk contains colostrum, which carries the mother's antibodies to its young and can reduce the risk of many diseases. It contains many other nutrients including protein and lactose. Interspecific consumption of milk is not common, particularly among humans, many of whom consume the milk of other mammals. Composition of milk. Composition of milk is protein 11%, fat 3 to 6%, mineral 2%, vitamins 1%, carbohydrate 2%, and water 82%. However, the composition doesn't always remain the same. This will vary slightly depending upon the species, the age, and the feed of the animal. It will also depend upon the lactation period, and as the animal advances in age, the fat content will also increase. Animals who feed on grass pastures produce a high yield of milk richer in vitamin A. Processing of milk. The various stages are collection. Milk is brought to the dairy in clean sterilized vessel, preferably stainless steel. Second one is holding tanks. The milk is immediately transferred to holding tanks and is held at 10 degrees centigrade to keep it safe. Cooling is done either in tank jacketed with pipes in which runs a brine solution, as the milk is run over very cold water pipes. Filtration. The milk is passed through a series screen and filtered to remove sediments and floating particles. Pasteurization. It is the process of heating milk to 63.7 degree and holding it at the temperature for 30 minutes. This is known as the Holder process of pasteurization nowadays. Nowadays, the flash pasteurization is more commonly used. It is also called the HTST or high temperature short time method, where the milk is heated to 71.6 degrees centigrade for only 50 seconds. Pasteurization makes milk safe for human consumption by destroying pathogenic germs, also known as pathogens. It also helps to increase the shelf life. Flavor of milk remain unaffected at pasteurization temperature. Homogenization. At temperature of 60 degrees centigrade, milk is passed under high pressure through a small opening of a machine called homogenizer. The main purpose is to subdivide the fat globules in milk and disperse them evenly in entire mass. Fat has a low density and tends to rise to the surface during heating. Homogenization prevents this by first breaking up the fat into tiny particles and then dispersing them throughout the milk. This adds to the flavor and results in a better body. Bottling. The bottles of selected and uniform size have to be sterilized by steam and hot water, and then they are filled with milk, which are capped automatically. Nowadays, milk is filled in plastic pouches, and these are more economical, easily transported, and save storage space. Plastic pouches are easily disposed and are safe to handle. Sterilization. The sealed bottles are now heated for 30 to 40 minutes at temperatures ranging from 104 to 110 degrees centigrade in a steam chamber called autoclave and then allowed to cool. Milk can also be sterilized before bottling. It is subjected to temperatures of 135 to 150 degrees centigrade for just 1 second. This is called the UST or ultra heat treatment. The process kills off all microorganisms and the very short holding temperature reduces the change in color and lined with aluminum foil. Milk is then distributed through various outlets. Types of milk. Flood milk, which is whole milk, and skim milk. Whole milk. Milk that has none of its fat removed. That generally contains 3.25% of fat. This fat is not homogenized so that the milk will have cream line. Skimmed milk. This type of milk became popular because of the emphasis on low-fat diet. Cream is separated by machine. Skimmed milk resembles fresh whole milk except that the fat content is less than 0.5%. But rest of the nutrients remain the same except for fat-soluble vitamins. It is often fortified with vitamin D and mineral. Skim milk is usually pasteurized and may also be homogenized. Homogenized milk. It has the same composition as the whole flood milk, but the fat content is dispersed throughout the mass through the process of homogenization. There won't be any cream line when the milk is heated. Toned milk. Toning is done to make buffalo milk resemble in appearance and flavor to cow's milk. It is done by dilution and addition of skimmed milk powder. 40% of skimmed milk is added to 60% of buffalo milk. The addition of skimmed milk powder makes up the dilution of the nutrients, and the fat content remains diluted and equal to that of cow's milk. Fortified milk. Additional nutrients such as vitamin D may be added to milk to improve the quality. Flavored milk. Addition of flavoring agents such as essence like vanilla, strawberry, and masalas to improve the flavor, appearance to add more variety. Concentrated milk. Evaporated milk. This is unsweetened concentrated milk. After pasteurization, the milk is evaporated under reduced pressure in steam heated vacuum pans till the volume has been reduced to 60%. It is then homogenized, cooled, and canned. Condensed milk. The term usually implies whole milk which has been particularly evaporated and to which sugar has been added. This is sweetened concentrated milk. 27% of moisture remains out of 80%. It has a 62% sugar concentration. The milk is cooled very carefully so that the crystallization of the lactose is in very fine crystals before being canned. Dried milk or milk powder. In this case, the water content is removed completely and thereby the bulk is reduced. It requires no special storage facility and is an outlet for the skim milk from cream and butter production. There are two processes for drying milk: roller drying and spray drying. And third one is instant milk powder. Cultured milk. The process consists of deliberately souring the milk by adding specific harmless bacteria, which will then produce an acid and so control the growth of possible harmful bacteria. The process originated by man's attempt to prevent milk from being totally unusable and develops into a variety of products which are nutritious and easily digestible. Cultured milk can be classified into three groups as listed. Butter culture. These include buttermilk and cultured cream. The buttermilk is byproduct from the manufacture of butter. It is made from pasteurized skim milk which is incubated with an acid producing butter culture. Cultured cream is prepared from pasteurized single cream which is incubated with an acid producing butter culture. It is often marketed as fresh salt cream to distinguish it clearly from cream, which has soured by accident of or carelessness. It may be used in recipe instead of sour cream. Yogurt culture. This includes yogurt in many forms and flavor, curdled milk and salt milk drink. Yogurt can be made from whole, skimmed, evaporated or dry milk or a mixture of these. Various types of yogurt are available: natural yogurt made from milk products, natural yogurt sweetened with sugar, fruit yogurt, which may be flavored with pieces of fruit or just fruit juice or a flavoring essence. Weak alcoholic beverages. This group differs from the previous group in that yeast cultures, which produces alcohol, are added in addition to bacterial culture. This group includes kefir, Poland, kumis, Russia, Weißchampagner, Poland, and Felivuska, Poland. Next is non-dairy milk, which is soya milk, rice milk, almond milk, and coconut milk. Usage of milk. First, served as a refreshing drink both hot and cold. Second, served as a beverage with tea and coffee. Third, the main ingredient in some sauces like bechamel. 4. Used to enrich dishes like soup and to give a smooth texture. 5. The main ingredients in several desserts like ice cream, pudding and custard. 6. The first food for newborn infants. 7. Act as a cooking medium for Indian sweets like kheer or payasam. Storage of milk. The rich nutritional composition of milk make it readily infected with microorganisms which may be derived from the animal. The equipment or the pupil handling the milk. Fresh milk should be purchased daily. Old and new milk should never be mixed. Leftover milk can be easily converted into curd. Fresh milk should be stored at refrigerated temperature of 2 degrees centigrade after boiling and cooling. Milk should never be stored near strong smelling foods such as cut onion and peeled garlic, as milk readily absorbs flavor and odor. Milk must never be exposed to direct sunlight or riboflavin is very easily lost. UTH and canned milk must be stored at slightly lower than room temperature. When opened, they must be refrigerated immediately and used within 2 days. Dried milk must be stored in airtight container in a cool and dry area of storeroom. Cream. Cream is a dairy product composed of higher butter fat layer skimmed from the top of milk before homogenization. The cream has a slight yellow or ivory color and is more viscous than milk. Usage of cream: to serve with hot or cold coffee and chocolate, to serve as an accompaniment, to be used for decorative purpose in cakes, gâteaux, and for garnish in soup and dessert, as the main ingredients in certain desserts such as ice cream and custard. Storage of cream: the fresh cream must be treated in the same way as fresh milk as far as storage is concerned. Whipped cream must be covered and stored in sterilized container in the refrigerator and used on the same day. Reconstituted and intimation cream must be refrigerated and only small quantities be whipped when required for immediate use. Processing of cream: cream is commercially separated from milk in a creamery by means of a mechanical separator. The milk is first heated to between 32 to 49 degrees centigrade before being run into the separator, which operates like centrifugal machine, rotating at very high speed and forcing the milk, which is heavier, to the outside while the cream, which is lighter, remains at the center. The cream and skim milk are drained out through separate outlets, and by means of a control valve, the fat content is adjusted. The skim milk is then heated to 79.5 degrees centigrade to kill off any harmful bacteria before being further processed into dried milk, etc. Types of cream: there are variety of cream available in the market, each having a different fat content. Single cream 18%, whipping cream 35%, double cream 48%, double thick cream 50%, sterilized half cream 12%, sterilized cream 23%, clotted cream 55%. For general purpose, cream may be classified into whipping cream, light or coffee cream, half and half, and non-dairy or manufactured cream. Manufactured cream or non-dairy cream are two types: reconstituted cream and imitation or synthetic cream. Reconstituted cream: it is made by emulsifying butter with skim milk or skim milk powder. This is not true cream but a substance which resembles in its appearance. Synthetic cream: it is made by emulsification of vegetable fat with dried egg and gelatin, and then sugar and flavoring are added. It is a product which is frequently used in catering and baking trade, but which is very easily contaminated and liable to cause food poisoning. The whipping of cream. Whipping cream is a product that results from agitation of cream. During whipping, air is incorporated, thus forming a foam, and fat particles are clumped together, producing the characteristic stiffness or rigidity of whipped cream. If whipping is continued too long, the emulsion breaks and butter gets separated. The air bubbles formed in whipped cream are surrounded by protein film in which clumps of fat globules offer structural support, which increases the rigidity of the foam and permits the formation of more air bubbles and the extension of the protein film to surround them. Homogenized cream is not suitable for whipping. Points to be considered while whipping cream. Use cream with minimum 30% of fat for easy and whipping and for a stiff product. Increased up to Increased fat up to 38% improve the whipping quality of cream. Whole cream at low temperature near about 7 degree whips well. Lower temperature increases viscosity, which increases the whipping property. The beater and the ball used should be cold. Whipping property improves with the aging of cream as viscosity increases. Homogenized cream will not whip satisfactorily. When whipping cream, tiny air bubbles are trapped and surrounded by the fat globules in the cream. Homogenized cream will have had the majority of fat globules broken down, and they will not be sufficient and strong enough to trap and hold the air cells. The utensils must be sterilized. Glass or stainless steel containers are ideal for whipping cream. Avoid using aluminum as it tends to discolor the cream, turning it a dull gray. Increase acidity up to the concentration required to give a sour taste. 0.3% has no effect on whipping quality. Addition of sugar decreases both volume and stiffness and increased time required to whip cream if it is added before whipping. If sugar is to be added, it is the best added after the cream is stiff or just before serving. Cheese. Cheese may be defined as the fresh or mature product made by coagulating any or a combination of any of the following substances, namely milk, cream, skim milk, partly skimmed milk, concentrated milk, reconstituted dried milk, and buttermilk, and then partially draining the whey resulting from any such coagulation. Cheese making is a very convenient method for converting a considerable part of milk nutrients into a product that is less bulky, will keep well, is of a high nutritive value, and palatable and easily digestible. There are over 400 varieties of cheese listed as being made in different parts of the world. They are made from variety of different milk from animals like cow, sheep, goat, buffalo, and others by different method of manufacture, are ripened for different period of time in different conditions, and are made in different sizes from a few ounce to a very large size of 70 pound or more. They will also differ by color, texture, hardness, odor, and taste. Composition of cheese making. First is milk. The various cheese of the world first owe their character and taste to the type of milk used, double cream, toned, or skim milk. The character also greatly depends on the what animal the milk came from, cow, goat, ewe, or water buffalo. Starter. If left in a warm place, milk will sour by itself. The souring is due to the action of bacteria on the milk sugar, lactose, and its conversion to lactic acid or sour milk. To speed up the process of souring, add to prevent the milk from becoming bitter and unpleasant sour, a little warm sour milk from the previous day's milk is added to the batch. This speed up or start the process of coagulation and is known as the starter or starter culture. In the case of pasteurized milk, all bacteria are killed, and hence the starter consists of a combination of culture grown in the lab. Rennet. Although the starter culture speed up the process of souring milk and would eventually cause it to curdle, it produces quite a sharp acidic taste. The use of rennet, which is an enzyme from the inner lining of young hoofed animals like lamb and calves, significantly improves this product. Rennet also helps break down the curd into a smooth, even consistency, contributing to the texture and flavor. Processing or producing of cheese. Production of cheese. First, preparation of milk. Milk is one of the prime ingredients while making cheese. It is a high protein dairy product made from the milk of animals like cows, sheep, goat, buffalo, yak, etc. Prior to manufacture process, milk needed to be prepared. This is done by pasteurizing the milk, homogenizing it, and then clarifying it. Addition of starter. This is done by two methods. In sour milk, cheese lactic acid bacteria thickens the milk and sweet milk cheeses. Most cheese are of this kind, which are also called rennet cheese. For this, the cheese makers add rennet, an enzyme takes from the stomach of suckling calves to separate solid in the milk from the fluid. The rennet causes the milk protein to build up and the milk to curdle without the milk turning sour. In this method, all other solid particles like fat, protein, and vitamin get encompasses. Most of the rennets used today in cheese making come from the lining of a calf's stomach. Formation of coagulum. Addition of starter leads to coagulation of milk into a thick mass called young curd and separation of whey. When the process is complete, the liquid whey is drained off and the solid mass of curd or coagulated milk protein is used to make cheese. At this stage, this is called as firm curd. Cutting. Firm curd is cut into smaller pieces by use of knife or chain. The size of the cut will be dictated by the type and recipe of cheese. In most countries, this process is carried out manually. This process is carried out for hard cheese. Stirring or scalding. This process is also carried out for hard cheese. It expels more whey and shrinks the curd. This process also speeds up the bacterial metabolism. Salting. Salt is added into the cheese by the wet or dry method as per the recipe. Molding or wetting and pressing. After salting, cheese is put in molds for it to acquire a particular shape. This can be done in plastic or wooden molds. The cheese is pressed, which gives it a definite shape. In case of blue cheese, pressing is not done. Finishing. Cheese is demolded and rind or coating is given to the cheese. This process includes coating, wrapping, or bandaging the cheese. The softer cheese acquire a natural rind while it matures. In some cases, rind is dry by rubber as use of grape must and wrapping it in leaves. Ripening or maturing. In this stage, the green or immature cheese develops the characteristic texture and flavor of its variety. The green cheese is placed in well-ventilated rooms on rack. The temperature is maintained at 30 degrees centigrade and at a humidity of 80 to 90%. Then the bacteria, molds, etc. are added to bring about changes. The fresh cheese is covered with wax or other things to prevent the moisture loss. Ripening is a change in the physical as well as chemical properties such as aroma, flavor, texture, composition, etc., which occurs between the time of precipitation of the curd and the time when the cheese develops its characteristics. Ripening is the process that converts freshly made curd into distinctive flavorful cheese. This ripening is brought about by certain bacteria or molds that are introduced during manufacture. Much of a final cheese final character is determined by the kind of ripening agent and the way it is act on the cheese. Cheeses can be classified by kind of ripening agent and whether it ripens from inside or outside. Some example includes bacteria ripened from inside, Cheddar, Swiss, Gouda, Parmesan, etc. Bacteria ripening from outside, Limburger, Liederkranz, etc. Mold ripened from inside, blue cheese, Roquefort, Stilton, etc. Mold ripened from outside, Brie, Camembert, Saint Henry, etc. Unripened cheese are cottage cheese and baker's cheese, etc. Type of cheese. Fresh cheese. Fresh cheese are usually made by setting the curd with starter and rennet and are high in moisture. The young curd is placed in sack or perforated container and drained slowly without pressure for a few hours so that the curd retains much of the whey. Once sufficient whey has been drained off, the curd are either mixed or sprinkled with salt. They are now ready to be eaten. For some cheeses like fromage fraiche, the rennet is not added. Such cheese is called lactic cheese. Some fresh cheese are allowed to mature and grow either a white or bluish grey mold. Fresh cheese are always mild and high in moisture and therefore low in fat. They have slightly acidic or lactic taste. Most are used in cooking but may be wrapped in leaf or dusted with paprika or fresh herb for serving as a table cheese. Example includes cottage cheese, cream cheese, curd cheese, farmer cheese, Casse, Chena, fromage blanc, queso fresco, paneer, and fresh goat milk chèvre. Soft cheese. The curd is ladled gently into perforated molds and left to drain in an atmosphere of high humidity so that the curd does not lose too much whey. After a few hours, the cheese are turned out of their molds and left to mature for a few weeks. The high moisture content coupled with high humidity attracts and encourages the growth of classical white penicillium molds, which help to break down the curd and contribute the flavor and texture of the cheese. The result is a creamy, smooth interior that looks as though it is almost ready to run. Example includes mozzarella, brie, camembert, feta, goat, buffalo mozzarella, ricotta, Boursin cheese, cream, fontina cheese. Semi-hard cheese. To obtain a firmer cheese, the curd is cut up to release some of the whey. Before the curd is placed in the molds, it is then often lightly pressed to speed up the drainage. After a day or so, the cheese is turned out of its mold and washed in brine. This seals the rind before the cheese is placed in cellars or ripening room where molds are encouraged to grow. The lower moisture content means the fermentation process is slower, producing cheese with a round, full body rather than a strong flavor. Their taste often seems to be embodied with the oil and ester of the wild mountain flower of Europe. When young, semi-soft cheese have a firm yet springy, school razor texture and becoming elastic and supple. Gouda and Edam are examples of popular semi-hard cheese variety. Hard cheese. To make a hard cheese, the curd must be cut finely from small cubes to rice-sized pieces. The smaller the pieces, the more whey will be lost from the curd. The curd are then gently heated in a vat to force out more moisture before the whey is drained out. Salt is then added to the curd, which now resemble rubbery, lumpy cottage cheese. They may be cut again before being placed in large perforated molds that are frequently engraved with the unique symbol, logo, pattern, or name to identify the finished cheese or its maker. This is then sealed and left to mature for weeks or even years. Hard block cheeses are pressed into shape and then matured in a special plastic wrap that allows the cheese to age without the development of either mold or rind. The moisture that would normally be lost during maturation is also retained. Examples are Parmigiano Reggiano, Grana Padano, and Pecorino Siciliano. Blue cheese. Blue cheese are neither braised nor cooked. Most frequently, the curd is crumbled, eliminating much of the whey, then scooped into stainless steel cylindrical molds, each with a wooden disc on top. The curd remains in the mold for 1 to 2 weeks and is churned frequently to let the weight of the curd to press out more of the whey. When the cheese can stand up on their own, they are removed from the molds, rubbed with salt, and returned to the cellars. The blue mold is a strain of fungus, Penicillium glaucum, that is added to the milk before the rennet is added. For the blue mold to grow, however, it needs to breathe, and this is added by piercing the cheese with rods. The blue then grow along the tunnels and into the nooks and crannies between the loose curd, producing shattered porcelain look that typifies blue cheese. Most blue cheese are normally wrapped in a foil to prevent them from drying up. Example: Roquefort, Stilton, and Gorgonzola. Selection of cheese. The following points should be taken into consideration while selecting cheese. The rind of cheese should not have mildew or fungi on it. There shouldn't be an over strong smell emanating from the cheese. Semi-hard, hard and blue-veined cheese when cut should not appear dry. Soft and processed cheese when cut should not be watery nor should be of a delicate creamy consistency. Storage of cheese. All cheese should be eaten fresh and in their prime condition. For this, they must be stored correctly so that they reach the customers in good condition with a full flavor. Cheeses should be wrapped in a separate clean polythene bag to prevent their drying out and then stored at a temperature of 5 to 10 degrees centigrade. Before being served, the cheese should be removed from the bag and placed in a room at normal temperature in order to have the full flavor maximized. Particular care must be taken for soft cheese, example brie, camemberts, etc., as they can soon become overripe and unacceptable. Even hard and semi-hard cheese must be stored at low temperature to avoid deterioration. Store cheese in their original wrapper once they are opened and cut. Cover with moist cloth or aluminum foil or plastic wrap to avoid drying out. The very hard cheese like Parmesan and unprocessed cheese don't need to be refrigerated and may be kept in a clean, cool, dry storeroom. Blue cheese requires a lower temperature of around 4 degrees centigrade and a higher relatively humidity of 80%. Normally, cheese should not be allowed to become dry and crumbly. Small pieces weighing 1 pound or less of certain varieties like brick, camembert, Edam, cheddar, etc. can be frozen for 6 to 8 weeks in general. The firmer and more aged the cheese, the longer it will keep. Usage of cheese. As a cheese course for lunch and dinner, the cheese would be served to a customer on a cheese board containing UK cheese only, French cheese only of a variety of UK, and continental cheese. Serve cheese at a room temperature as only at room temperature will the full flavor develop. As a featured item on a cool buffet, as a cooking cheese, to add a basic cream sauce to make a cheese sauce, to serve as an accompaniment to soup and farinaceous dishes, to serve sprinkle on dishes to be gratinated, to serve on toast, example grilled, Welsh rarebits, etc. To include in salad and snacks, etc. Butter.
Butter is the fat of cream that is separated more or less completely from the other milk constituent by agitation or churning. The mechanical rupture of the protein film around the fat globules allows the fat globules to clump together. Butter formation is an example of breaking off an oil in water emulsion by agitation. The resulting emulsion that forms in butter itself is a water in oil emulsion, with about 18% being dispersed in 80% fat and a small amount of protein acting as an emulsifier. Butter is made from either or sour cream. Butter from sour cream has a more pronounced flavor. The cream may be allowed to sour naturally or may be acidified by the addition of pure culture of lactic acid bacteria to sweet cream, which produces a butter of better flavor and keeping quality. Sweet cream does not mean sweetened cream but simply means not sour. It consists of more than 80% butter fat and a small amount of protein, vitamin A and D, minerals, lactose, and water. Butter must have a minimum of 80% fat content, a non-fat solid content of 2%, and maximum of 16% moisture. Composition of butter. Average composition of butter is fat 82%, protein 1.5%, lactose 2%, salt 2%, water 12%. Factors that affect the quality of butter. The breed of animal from which the milk was obtained, the type of feed that was available for the animal, the method of manufacture, fresh or ripened cream, the efficiency of manufacture, wrong temperature may affect the color and flavor of butter, whether or not the butter was blended, the addition of salt and color, the method of packing and storing. Classification of butter. There are 4 main types of butter: fresh or sweet cream butter, ripened cream or lactic butter, blended or mild butter, and special butter. Fresh and ripened cream butter are known as creamery butters. Manufacturer or creamery butter. The manufacture of creamery butter takes place in 4 main stages as mentioned. First, holding. The cream 35% is pasteurized at 95 degrees centigrade and held for 2 to 4 seconds. It is then cooled to 4.5 degrees centigrade and held there for several hours to ensure the uniform hardening of the fat globules. Ripening. When the end product is going to be ripened, butter or butteric lactic butter starter, which is a laboratory culture of acid producing bacteria, will be added during the holding stage, in which the holding temperature will be 15.5 degree to 18.5 degree centigrade for 3 to 4 hours before being cooled to 4.5 degree centigrade. This gives the butter a much fuller flavor. However, the flavor tends to fade and therefore the ripened cream butter has a shorter life than the sweet cream butter. This stage will be omitted when making the sweet cream butter. Churning. The churning of cream is done in large stainless steel churns that holds about 1000 gallons of cream. The temperature must not exceed more than 4 degrees centigrade. The churns are rotated while internal rollers pass through the cream. This breaks the envelope of non-fat particle solid that surround the small fat globules and coalesce to form larger group of butter fat. The envelope is dispersed in the thin liquid part of the cream to form buttermilk. After about 30% of churning, the butter separates out in the form of grain and floats in the buttermilk. The buttermilk is carefully drained away and used for other purposes.
Washing and salting. The butter grains are now washed with ice water to remove any traces of buttermilk left on the surface of each grain. In order to maximize the keeping quality, ice water also helps to harden butter grains. Salting can be done in two ways: by adding fine grains of dairy salt and by soaking in a brine solution for 10 to 15 minutes and allowing the butter to absorb it. The quantity of salt added usually is average 1% for ripened cream butter and 1.5% for fresh cream butter. The salt contributes to flavor and improves the keeping quality. The butter grains are then worked into a smooth solid mass by rotating the churn slowly for 10 to 15 minutes. Then weighed and packed. Coloring may also be added at this stage. If unsalted butter is required, the salting stage is omitted. Blended butter. Blended butter is a blend of butters from different regions or countries. These are mixed together to produce a product of standard quality at a competitive price under a brand name. Special butter. This group includes some butter that are not commonly available and those which are not true butters. These include whey butter. Whey is the liquid which separates from the curd while making cheese. The butter fat obtained from the whey may be used to produce butter, or it may be added to fresh cream milk prior to it being processed into butter. Due to its origin, the butter has a fainty cheese flavor. Milk blended butter. Quantities of milk are blended into butter, thereby increasing the moisture content to 24% max. Powdered butter. This is a spray-dried butter containing 80% of milk fat and non-fatty acid solids. It is produced on large scale in Australia and is used mainly in bakery trade. Compound butter. These are made by adding a particular natural flavor or color to butter, depending on the type of food with which it is served. It is generally used as an accompaniment, example lobster butter, parsley butter, etc. Cocoa butter. This is not a true butter, rather obtained by crushing the cocoa beans. It is the most expensive ingredient used in chocolate making. Cocoa butter substitutes using palm oil are also available. Peanut butter. It is a paste-like substance containing by grinding roasted peanut that may be further emulsified and flavored. Usage of butter. As a spread of bread, toast and scones, as a basic ingredient in pastry making and cake making, used as an accompaniment to enhance the taste and flavor of soup and sausage. As a cooking medium, the smoke point of butter fat is only 127 to 130 degrees centigrade, so a vegetable oil should be used when high cooking temperatures are required. For butter sculpture. Storage. Butter is a perishable product and tends to lose flavor and go rancid on prolonged storage. Exposure to sunlight can make it go rancid faster. It must be stored at refrigerated temperature, well wrapped and away from strong flavor food, for it absorbs odor and flavor easily. If purchased in bulk, it can be frozen at -25 to -35 degrees centigrade.